The central deal of the Next Up Performance is capable of giving public value to exercise accomplishments that would have otherwise gone unnoticed. The progress feature on the app is capable of organizing information. The in-app challenges can connect each app user to professional, college, and locally known amateur athletes they admire when the app adds those teams, which we don't have yet, but it's coming. App users will have access to college and professional athletes when their teams are added. The live challenges can help local gyms increase membership. Hundreds of millions of people all across the globe go to work out at some type of gym to train privately without any way to find public accountability, affirmation, and or validation for hard-earned private training accomplishments that continue to go unnoticed. The Next Up Performance app meets this need by giving athletes from all backgrounds access to a system that can validate their athletic accomplishments and connect them to individuals with shared interest with the app's interactive video challenges and in-app leaderboards. While self-validated and single supervisor apps have succeeded in giving consumers unverified training data on a non-continual basis, Next Up's ability to maintain a publicly trusted leaderboard that can validate their athletic accomplishments at any time from any place gives the product a competitive advantage over all the competitors whose services are limited in their ability to do this and give their customers recognition for their efforts. The leaderboard ranks training efforts that have been verified by a Next Up representative on a local, regional, and national level. Every statistical record on the leaderboard will be backed up with a record of a video of the event that can video of the record that can add transparency, validity, and excitement to the leaderboard. The leaderboard will have age, gender, sport, and exercise categories, enabling athletes of all ages and skills and athletic backgrounds to find validation for exercise efforts that would have otherwise gone unnoticed on a leaderboard as small as their local region to a national leaderboard. There's an example of what a leaderboard would look like in the app. The challenges. After calling Next Up, each app user will have the ability to create a challenge. App users can respond to the challenges of others and comment on the challenges of other users. Each app user controls the comment section related to each challenge they created. There's an example of what a challenge would look like in the app. The progress feature gives each app user access to a 1-rep max performance calculator for upper body, lower body, and sport-specific exercises. If it's not a 1-rep max performance for a lifting, it'd be a running time or something of that nature. Adds a chart mapping out each app user's improving progress in a line chart towards a set goal. There's an example of what it would look like for 3 lifting exercises. The cost. The cost of the app is $1 a month for general fitness users. When an athletic director purchases the app for $99, he will get a school code that enables all his coaches and student athletes to download the app for free. After the year is over, the subscription cost will start over again for each athletic director. If an app user unsubscribes, all their data will be available whenever they decide to start using the app again. The app is going to be ready to download within the next couple weeks. Does anyone have any questions?
Well, thank you for that. You went through that really quick. But
I went a little fast.
Yeah, let's slow it down.
Might not have taken 6 minutes.
Hold on. So you and I have talked a lot.
Yeah.
And the reason you developed this app was why?
I saw a need when I was playing high school and college sports that you work all year, especially for football, you only have a limited number of games, and all your hard work basically goes unnoticed. Unless you're in the game, you're playing, or you're doing something, you work. I think there's a way to get the validation and to socially connect people through all these exercise efforts that go unnoticed. There's a way to make money and connect people, and I think get a great product out in the market.
Okay, and so your goal right now is to market this to who?
High school athletic programs and general fitness users, of any interest. Mostly starting with competitive lifters.
Okay, so the app basically is going to be used for individuals to track their performance versus other individuals, same age, gender, and sport, or
high school says sports-specific exercises, so does the general fitness.
And right now, I think you're starting what you said, weightlifting or football, or
everything.
Okay.
So yeah.
So as a general overview, the app is going to be. Right now, you're starting this locally.
Locally, yeah.
And it's something that could grow anywhere once you get going.
Yep.
All right. So that's the premise as we slow down to think about it, because.
I got you.
So based on that, let's open up to questions. Anybody might have a question to discuss.
Okay, so I'm wanting to find out who is downloading the information into it. So if me and you are both
Yeah.
athletes and I'm doing 100 squats and you're doing 100 squats, I guess, what's the accountability part of it?
Okay.
And then secondly, is there an incentive? So if I have this whole team, is in this whole room, if I win, will I get a $100 Amazon gift card per the coach because I won, or is it just because, do I just get to poke my chest out?
That's a real good. Can you hear me without this? All right, that's a real good point. Advertising the app can, I think, be a way to make a lot of money. You can't pay high school athletes, but for general fitness users, you get, a local company saying, if you win this, we'll give you a discount, and then you wear our merchandise and you increase our brand. That's another way to make money. So I will be doing that, but I got to get a user base before we can start going to companies, and they're going to want to advertise on it. So that answers your question about winning. But with just knowing anyone that gets on a leaderboard, that's recognition enough. Hey, I'm on the app's leaderboard, and through the challenges, it ranks challenges by views. So if you have a trending challenge, everyone will say, oh, his is trending, so the most people will see yours, and yours gets ranked higher that way. So it's through statistical achievements right now. You feel good as you're achieving, like instead of getting a gift card, which will hopefully come for general fitness users as we work with the different advertisers. And then through the challenges, you can see, oh, my challenge is trending. So that makes you feel good, like I accomplished something. Next.
I like what she said. It's going to be interesting to see how you kind of bring that accountability with the users. Like how she mentioned, both of y'all doing 100 squats. What is the accountability of those factors on that part?
Can you answer the question? Because I don't think you answered the question good enough. What do you mean by accountability? Because I think I don't think I quite answered her question.
Say do 3 reps of 150 of whatever it is, and that's what I actually did. But I record 3 reps of 200 pounds. What's the accountability of what's the number?
I think I didn't answer a question good enough. So you see in the progress feature, you got dates. So this is all unverified. So you can put in any date you want, any weight you want, and you can lie. So go ahead, lie to yourself. You're only hurting yourself because your progress feature is not accurate. But you can't get on a leaderboard unless it's just verified. So if you go to a marathon, it has a marathon time. If you're a high school football player, you go to a Nike Combine, it's a verified 40-yard dash line. So you can BS yourself and say, I run a 3.940. It'll show you run a 3.940, but you're not going to get any public recognition for it.
So only at competitions is that when it will be verified?
You send it to me, and I'll verify it through either video review or URL. So for accountability, you keep yourself accountable, but with the leaderboards, people are going to have incentive. I don't want to just lie to myself because I'm never going to get on a leaderboard. So if you want to just mess up your own progress feature, you can do that. But the accountability comes, I want to create accurate data, so when it goes to the leaderboard, I can get the recognition. That's accountability for yourself.
Heard. You'd be surprised what people will do for recognition, though.
I agree, yeah.
And which brings me to my question is, it's a 2-part question.
Yeah.
Why are you choosing to interject into the high school athletes community or high school athletic community?
I think the 2 big things, you're right, recognition and social connection. So you do the challenges people are socially connected to, and the leaderboard's recognition. So those are the 2 big things I think we're doing that's going to get users. High schools are great, just to answer your question. Just think about, you get a school buys it $99, everyone downloads it for free. So you get all these free users, they graduate, they like it, they're going to be customers, general fitness customers after they graduate. So it's an easy way, you can cherry pick one by one, it's hard, but when you get high school guys that are already using it, they graduate, you're getting new customers after every graduating class.
And I would recommend checking out the CrossFit community because they're already doing that sort of stuff. So if you can leverage that, maybe it could.
That's a great idea.
Intersection.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
We talk. So, question I have is, do you have any plans for integration with social media so you can show the progress or maybe even create badges? Like I made the leaderboard, I've been top of the leaderboard for the last 6 weeks running and something like that, and the badge can be created and they can post that on their social media. So that's 2 questions. 1, do you have integration with social media? 2, do you have any thoughts around creating those other types of
Great
recognition?
thing. We're talking about the badges. I think there's social media sharing. I think you can eventually get sponsors on there. So we're sharing. You have like the company logo. It's a way to make money. Right now we don't have that because there's no users because it's not out yet. But you're already able to share to social media. Yeah, you can share from the social media.
So question. If I'm an athletic director at a high school
Yeah.
and I purchase the subscription, am I getting a dashboard of sorts so I can see the progress of my athletes? So if I have a training program for my football team, I load that training program, or that's a question.
Yep.
Can you load the training program? Then two, as the athletic director or coaching staff,
Yeah.
do I have the ability to track their progress? And then my next question is there any thought for gamification and the gamification aspect to the app? You know, so they complete back squats, you know, you collect 10 points, you know, something to incent them to, and then also show on your social platforms, social media platforms. You know, if you're targeting the high school kids, you know, they're in the gaming, gamification, and then maybe adding some aspect of gamification to the
To
app.
try to answer your question, I'll go with the most recent, so 3, the gamification. I think that's a great idea, but you got to build. So we cost a lot of money. I mean, we got this out there. We need to get success and then go and build from that. So that's a great idea. We got to get this moving first, so we'll move to that stuff and add features. What was your second and first question?
Well,
It's about athletic directors tracking data. Was that the second question? Yeah, they can see what all our student athletes are doing. What I think is great is if you want to go to some of these other schools, you want to increase class attendance or graduation rate, instead of just giving a guy detention, you cut off their app user access. So that's a great way. So, you know, it's like the candy. How much do kids care about attention or that stuff? Do you care? You have something that's giving them recognition and social connection. 2 things people care about most. You take that away that's already free. That's a way to motivate more people. If you don't go to class, if you skip school, keep going. So that's another aspect, and they can see what they can add coach, because the athletic director gets it first. They can add coaches, add players, and kind of keep track of what everyone's doing. Now, what was your first question?
That kind of was it. I
Okay.
was wondering if they had
Yep.
a dashboard so they could track
They do.
progress in
Yep.
the app.
Okay, great
Yeah.
concept, great concept. So you know I coach basketball, right?
Yep.
With this, are you incorporating the recruiting aspect? Say I have basketball players and I'm an athletic director and I purchase this for my kids. I'm tracking everything they
Yeah.
do. Will that information or that data that is being collected, is that accessible to college coaches to help in the recruiting aspect if they're looking for that data?
That's a great point. Just like I said in the beginning, there are no college or professional teams in the app. We have to add that, but the technology's there. So once we add a guy, you know, North Texas or SMU, and they're seeing what they're doing and they're integrating, think about every high school athlete, their records are being seen, their challenge videos are being seen, so that's more exposure. And they're not, you know, the official visits, they're not taking visits, it's not against NCAA, so that's something that you can add, but it's not there yet, because we have to get them to add.
Gotcha.
So the real idea here is to build the database, because once the database is built, then obviously that information can be used by multiple people in multiple ways.
Correct.
So, back to this question over here, as a high school coach, you could basically input the information and say you're having today you're doing squats or whatever, and you measure all of your athletes.
Yep.
You could be the one to put that in so you know it's valid. Right, so he or she could be the one entering the data so you know it's valid, you've done it, you've seen it. So I guess the question is really for you is how do you grow the database? How do you market it to grow the database? Because that seems to be the key to all of this for the success of your company.
Mm-hmm.
The more users, the better it's going to be. And so your approach right now, and you and I kind of talked about this the other day, your approach right now to grow the database is going to be at ground level.
Yep.
Through the high schools, local high schools, and then what?
The first thing just off the bat is a bench press challenge of the YMCA. Guy Jason Brooks did a challenge in May, and he's excited to do one here. So you get that moving. That's just general fitness users. Then you get high schools using it. That's the high schools, and you just go one by one. And I'd love to grab a whole school district, but that's hard to do. So private schools is probably what I'm going to do at the beginning. And then you just move from there. I think that's where my plan's at.
And you have those connections right now, or you're looking for those connections?
I'm looking for as many as I can get. I've made connections, but as many as I can get, the better, and improve on the connections I have.
Okay. More questions?
So 2 things. Have you heard of Beyond the Whiteboard?
No.
So I would check them out to kind of back up what he said. They have several 100,000 users. It's mainly for the CrossFit community. They have millions and millions of data points of every lift, every workout. So that would be a good one. And they gamify it. They show trends. And I think there's verification through video through them. So I would check those out. Do you have a co-founder that you work
No.
with?
Nope.
Okay. I would just, in my experience, I think it'd be good for you to find somebody like a co-founder or somebody that you could work with to help maybe secure some of the other aspects of the business that you don't like to work on, or just to give you another voice and help you out. So I've just seen that be successful. You have a guy with an idea. If you can have another guy that kind of balances that out, that's usually helpful getting off the ground. So yeah, beyond the whiteboard, I'd check it out.
Yeah, on the whiteboard.
Okay, so I'll give you the last chance then. So how can we help you today before the launch of your product and then after the launch of your product? What can we do for you as an audience to help you?
I think the big thing, if you know any gyms or high school athletic directors or even coaches, those are the big two things.
Okay, very good. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.